What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Onney, the CEO, and I'm back on set. That's right, you heard it. We are back, and we are bringing you new content, new faces going new places. And the young lady that I have tonight, she is definitely a pioneer. She is doing things in the industry as well as a career woman, and we need to see more brown girls like her. So I need you guys to buckle up your seatbelts because you're now plugged in, tuned in, tapped in to Outside the Box. Now, Queen I have on tonight's show, she is all things beauty, all things fashion, all things intelligence, okay? And when I met her, I was just wowed by her energy. She has a very positive energy, and I look forward to introducing her. So I want you guys to give it up for Shamona. Hey, Queen.
Hey, Queen. Thank you so much. You are so sweet. I'm telling you. And you talk about energy. Sis, your energy was electric. When I saw you on the stage that night, I said, this is a queen goddess.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am. Yes,
a lot of people don't even know that I do spoken word. So I actually do live shows all around the country, all around the world. And I recently did a show here in Houston, and she was actually a guest at the show. Audience. So it's awesome to be able to get that feedback.
I was like, who is this queen? I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, so it was a dope vibe. You know,
absolutely.
I'm a lover of people. So anytime I'm put in a position to let other people shine, I'm grateful for that. So
Amen.
I was grateful for all the other poets that came. That participated. Shout out to POD.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to them.
POD. Hold it down. I had the whole crowd,
and we said it loud too.
Yeah,
I remember that back in the day when that ran. It was so funny because it was just like, "POD, hold it down." Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So now that I finally have you on the couch,
yes,
because we've had an opportunity since the show to actually fellowship. Shout out to my girlfriend Yolanda Smith.
Yeah, yo.
And
yo. Yeah.
So I actually got a chance to kind of connect with you on a more personal level, and I was like, man, you should come on the show.
Yes, I was so ecstatic.
So thank you for accepting the invitation.
And thank you for having me.
So I got a chance to know who you are and some of the things that you do. But for those that are listening and watching,
yes,
can you tell us, what do you do? What are some of the things that you do?
Absolutely. So first of all, I am a mother, very proud of 2 beautiful daughters. I am a registered nurse and entrepreneur, and I've been doing this now for about 5 years. So I started out just trying to figure out, like, okay, what can I do that can bring something positive, something that's going to impact lives in a positive way. And because that's what I do already in my career, of course, bridging into entrepreneurship, I was like, okay, how can I set a new tone, but at the same time still do what I love and am passionate about? And because I do love fashion and modeling, I came up with the concept of the Fashionate Fridays, and then that led to, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start my own modeling agency.
I love it. Now, for those that don't know, you actually been modeling since you were a little girl, correct?
That's
correct. I did my research.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about your journey in modeling?
So yes, that is a journey for sure. I actually started when I was like 12 years old. I heard one of those infomercials, and I begged my parents. I was like, Mom, Dad, y'all gotta please put me in this school because I want to do it. And so they took me, I auditioned, and I got chosen. So then that's how the whole like journey even started, because after I graduated, I was able to do of course some fashion runway. I was able to do even a commercial at one point, and then I did print modeling. So I got a lot of experience from going to modeling school.
Now you've traveled abroad.
Correct.
Actually,
yes.
Look, konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
See, I got those So tell us about that.
Yes. So my dad was, of course, he's in the Navy. So, well, he's retired now, but we got orders to Japan, and that was basically a almost 4 year term. So we were there, and I had a chance to that was where actually I got to do my commercial. I did a cell phone commercial when I was over there. And I took Japanese for a couple of years in high school, and that was where it was just like, okay, now I could go out here and learn some new things, you know. So I did get an invitation to do the commercial. So it was just like from there, I knew that modeling was just going to be something that I wanted to pursue. For sure.
Now, you did mention Fashionate Fridays.
Yes.
Tell us what that consists of.
So Fashionate Fridays is basically a campaign that I launched. And basically what I want to do is to bring, you know, women from all walks of life. It really is more so focused on empowering women and, of course, uplifting them, the persons who want to do modeling, of course, themselves, and the women who want to, you know, showcase themselves in a positive light. I love, you know, bringing out not just the outer beauty, but the inner beauty as well. That's very important to me. So that was really the purpose of me trying to create a campaign, something that would be different. And then at the same time, I said, well, I want to look for, you know, designers, fashion designers, which I actually just partnered with a really awesome individual, and I'm so excited about our partnership. And you know, people who are starting businesses in fashion who just need a little bit of promotion, because these are some beautiful models.
Yes.
When I tell you, I'm so proud of the team that I have. I'm super excited.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And, you know, I see you have queen on your neck.
Yes.
But you know, I always feel like a queen is really measured about how many lives she can impact in a positive way.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you grew up in it and you turn around and you reach back. And it's like, you know what? It's other brown girls or not brown girls that want to be able to do this. And,
absolutely.
And you know, modeling is still art imitating life. It's still art.
It is.
So just being able to use yourself as your own canvas is a beautiful thing.
It's so beautiful.
Yes.
And we model ourselves every day in so many ways, and it's just I feel like too, when it comes to fashion, we're each so unique. You know, the Most High created us unique, so it's like, why do we have to all dress the same, look the same? We're not.
Right.
So this actually gives people an opportunity to showcase themselves in that light.
Right. Like
that's
art via expression of fashion.
Correct.
I love that. I love that. Now, where are you originally from?
Okay, so I was originally born in Newport News, Virginia.
Okay.
Yes.
Shout out to Virginia.
Shout out to VA 757. And then from there, I grew up in Hampton Roads, and then we moved to North Carolina and then to Japan.
Now, I heard you mention you've moved quite a bit.
Yes.
What is that like, having a father that's in the military, where you're constantly having to move and resettle? Because a lot of young youth, they struggle with that.
Yeah.
Because every time you move, you have to leave your friends, you have to reestablish who you are in that community.
Correct.
So what were some of the things that you had to overcome with that?
Oh man, it was pretty rough. Actually, when we first moved, I left most of my childhood friends at the very first move. So I found that to be the most difficult. And we actually didn't move out the country yet. We relocated from Hampton Roads to Suffolk. And during that time, you know, it separated me from a very close friend of mine. So I found that to be very difficult. And then, of course, once we left the country, that took it to the next level.
Right.
Yes, it was pretty.
It's almost like a form of isolation.
It was.
Yeah, and then now you're somewhere where they speak a whole different language.
What?
Yeah.
And it was like, I was so super shocked when I got to Japan at first, because when I went to school, I didn't realize I was going to be going to school with a lot of American kids. I didn't know what it was going to be like. So when I got there and I was just meeting all of these different, you know, peers from all across the world,
right?
It was just like, wow. So this isn't really that bad, of course. But you know, I still had my struggles as a teen. I did. I had some anger, you know, with just all of the readjustments, and then not really being able to be settled. And then, of course, you know, it was hard being away from family.
Right.
It was
you
really.
Overcame, look at you
yes.
now.
Yes.
Look at you now.
Yes.
So moving forward, you were modeling and you created your platform. But what triggered that inspiration to say, you know what, I want to turn around and pass that torch? Like, what was the inspiration behind you creating a platform for other people to model?
I would say for me, it was more so just looking at my journey throughout life and just realizing that, you know, as a woman in the industry, as a woman who's had, you know, real life struggles. And of course, we all have our struggles in life and throughout life. But I wanted to create something that would bridge an opportunity for me to absolutely be able to be a positive light, you know, and hopefully empower and inspire other women, of course, especially being younger women, you know, or no matter the age for me, you know, it's just more so like just being in a positive way and just bringing that positive energy. And, you know, I just believe in that wholeheartedly.
Well, that's dope. That's why we connect.
Yes, that is why we connected. Yeah, like it's really, absolutely why.
Like attracts like, you know, real talk. And so I tend to gravitate more to people that love like I love, that see life through that lens of giving back and paying it forward, because that's how we leave our legacy. That's how we leave our footprints in the sand. And I'm a big, you know, advocate for people may not remember what you did for them, but they always remember how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. And so,
man, that's one of my favorites.
In modeling, it gives you an opportunity to make these women feel seen and heard as well, because they get to express themselves through fashion, and here you are validating that for them. And so many women go without that validation of saying you are enough.
Correct.
So,
and that's what I was getting ready to say. We are in, you know, the position of validating our own selves. And I feel like I lacked a lot of like self-esteem. Even when you're hearing all the time, you could have people telling you, oh, you're beautiful. You're pretty. But until you really believe that within your own self, you're not gonna see it and you're not gonna live it.
Right.
So it's just different. So it's like I feel
and
like
it's hard to receive.
And it's very hard to receive.
You know, somebody be like, "Girl, you look good." You be like, "Oh, girl, my hair not even done. Oh, I don't even have makeup
we
on."
Gonna find the flaw.
You gonna find the flaw.
Yes.
We gotta stop that. I have to stop that.
Yes.
You know, I need it today.
We
have to learn how to accept and embrace love and positive affirmation
and each other. Most importantly. And that is another big important thing for me, is like bridging that gap of negativity that we can tend to have sometimes as women. You know what I mean?
The mean girl. I do not want to sit with the mean girls. And for the girls that say you can't sit with us, girl, I don't want to sit with you anyway with that attitude. Because come sit with me. You know what I'm saying? If I have something that I can help you with, show you, teach you, you could teach me. There's no competition at the top. You know what I'm saying? The only people compete are still at the bottom. You know what I mean?
And I heard the saying, the people at the top, they collaborate.
Correct. And that's what I'm on. Let's collaborate.
Yes, which is what you did. I'm so happy.
Now that you have gotten to that point of, I want to create a platform, I want to do the Fashionate Fridays. Yes. I have my own modeling agency. Like, what was your aha moment in that journey to say, this is it? Because sometimes we have all these bright ideas. I'm a creative, so you might catch me painting, you might catch me doing poetry, you might catch me doing production, you might catch me hosting. I'm all over the place. You know, so I'm outside the box. I'm all over the place.
All over.
And I feel like we don't have to limit ourselves to anything, but it's certain things that we do that we'll try, like even with me with painting. I started painting as a way of mourning, getting my feelings out, and it turned into a lucrative
beautiful
journey.
You are, when I'm telling you, looking in this studio, I was just like, sis, you did that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They can't see it behind the scenes.
What?
No, they cannot.
All around. She has beautiful art. I'm telling you, very gifted.
Thank you.
Very gifted. Yes.
And so I knew my validation came from people saying, hey, how much for that? How much for that? How much for that? And I'm like, what? You will buy it? You know? And one guy asked me to buy a painting. And I didn't want to sell it. I wanted it for me. So I caught myself throwing out a bogus number.
Right.
And I was like, $500 for this painting. And he was like, well, what's your Cash App? And I sent my Cash App. And I heard, bling.
Right.
I was like, what? I got a new hustle.
That's
so I
awesome.
knew
That was like your aha moment.
That was my aha moment to let me
sense.
know that, hey, this is something that people were willing to pay for.
Correct.
So what was your aha moment in your journey?
I would say when I met like my first model. Mm-hmm. And when I was able to create that first like video for her, mm-hmm. that was more so my aha moment. Yeah. I was like, this is beautiful. And she loved it. Yeah. And I loved it. And we both loved it. It was just like, you know what I mean? I was like, I have to continue.
Inner child healing.
It is.
To be able to positively impact another woman. It should feel good to your inner child. It should feel good to your spirit. And so I commend you for that, for just, being a bright light in a dark room,
Yeah, and that's a dark world at that, because there's a lot out here that's bad, but we can make the good and see the good and be the good.
Now, you also mentioned that you are a mom of 2 daughters.
Correct.
And of course, we all dream big, but parenthood can sometimes change our course.
It does.
And how did that impact your course in entrepreneurship?
I would say it definitely changed the course of the original plan, which was just to model. Mm-hmm. Now, when I got pregnant with my first daughter, I was only 17. Mm-hmm. So at that moment in time, it was like, okay, now I have to restructure my whole entire life. Mm-hmm. Everything changed in that moment. So for me, at that point, I was just like, okay, so there will be a time maybe for this, but right now I have to focus on being a mother, and I wanted to. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, becoming a mother has matured me in ways that I never could have imagined. Right. And I feel like it was, God's plan in a way to help me grow into the woman that I am today.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Because you still was able to spin the block and pick your dreams right back up, but this time you picked your dreams up with a career in tote.
Correct.
So you also are a registered nurse.
Yes.
And now, how long have you been in nursing?
I've been in nursing for over 12 years.
Oh, that's dope. Mm-hmm. Just changing lives one by one. How did COVID affect that?
Well, I mean, COVID changed a lot for me. Like, I was actually in Georgia at that time, and I was on a travel contract, and because I was by myself, my oldest daughter, she was with my parents, and I didn't have my baby girl at that time. So it was just kind of like, okay, what do I do? Like, I need to try to go back home. And then I got an opportunity to go to New York. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take that opportunity. So but I feel like it was undeniable. Everybody that got on the train was like, oh, we about to get this bag.
Yeah. Shout out to
my other COVID nurses. Yes.
It literally changed the game. My sister, she's a RN as well, and she did the traveling nursing thing.
So I know she kind of bragged a little bit.
Well, she's not the braggadocious though. She's tight.
That's
but
good.
She's very private about her bag.
Oh, okay. But nothing wrong with that.
I will say that I think the toughest part in that was having to leave home for months at a time, and every time they send you on a new contract, you have to get resettled. Correct. But because your lifestyle, traveling with your dad in the Navy, it kind of already prepared you.
You better say it.
For
it absolutely did.
Yeah.
And sometimes we may think that we're going through so much in our earlier lives, not realizing the preparation that's coming for what's to be. What?
Right. Who would have thought?
Oh my goodness. Never would have thought.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think I was going to become a nurse. That was never my plan.
Yeah. Well, when, God places you here to impact people, He's going to use different ways to do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's modeling, whether it's nursing, whether it's speaking on your own platforms, whether it's having your own talk show, whatever it is,
correct,
He's going to use you for that light to shine. So I commend you for that.
And love it.
Now, are you currently traveling in your field now, or did you find a residence?
I did find a residence.
Okay,
shout out to that opportunity, because it has really given me just the chance to really focus on now my family and of course my business.
Correct.
Which is what I need to be.
Because it's really hard to grow your business when you're traveling. And
so much.
And it's hard to juggle a career and be an entrepreneur, because there's this stigma that you can't do both, and we are here to break the stigma. because I still work for an investment firm.
Ooh, you do,
so
sis. You did tell me that.
I take that money that I make with that investment firm and I invest it. I am the retirement plan.
Woo.
I am the Social Security. So while everyone's panicking about them taking away those Social Security benefits, I never banked on them anyway.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I would always say that I'm my own retirement plan. So I stay recreating businesses and cultivating them because eventually my business is going to be what sustains me when I'm no longer able to work.
Correct.
You know, so you have to turn the soil once you plant that seed.
Absolutely.
You know, and the turning the soil part is the part that nobody really wants to do.
Right.
You know, and so I've had people say,
because that's the hardest part.
Oh, your faith, you know, you don't have faith because you are so talented and you have this and you have that and you don't need that job. You should quit and just work completely for yourself. First of all, let me tell you, friend.
Tell them.
Don't nobody want to see a broke CEO.
At all.
I like getting my nails done.
Right.
I like driving the car I drive. I like pulling into my little nice neighborhood and turning the keys into my mortgage.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying? And in order to do that, you know, because as an entrepreneur, you have slow months. You have dry months. You may have months that you make a lot of money.
Correct.
And you may have a season where you're getting hit with business insurance and payroll and the clients are not coming in. So you have to be able to sustain. And
the career can help you that can be your building block.
Correct.
And that's why I wanted to start there. I had to start it. Even though I wanted to be in business, I knew I was going to need something. So I'm so glad you said that. That's so true.
A lot of people miss that part of it. And so I'm hoping that this conversation breaks the stigma of people believing that you have to quit your career to be an entrepreneur, because use your career to catapult your entrepreneurship.
Correct.
So shout out for that.
And I'm very proud of that too as well, because I'm very proud to be a nurse. You know, I feel like it's the foundation of my character at the same time. You know, it helped build so much quality and work ethic at the same time. So now when I'm out here and I'm working with people, I've already been doing that in so many ways. So it just kind of helped, you know, bridge the gap.
Yeah. I love that.
So I'm happy about that.
Now, what advice could you give others looking to branch off into the modeling industry or create their own agency?
Oh, definitely can call you girl. But no. But no, seriously, there's so many different ways you can get your foot in the door when it comes to modeling. I mean, you have casting calls, you have modeling agencies, of course, they're the ones that can find you the castings. And then you can also just try, you know, networking. Now we have the power of social media. We have the power of like all of these different opportunities that weren't like 10, 15 years ago. So, you know, you can do your own thing. You can apply
You can create your own casting call.
And you can create your own casting. And people do.
Yeah, and I've done it.
See?
I mean, you have to start somewhere. So even for this show, I do casting calls.
Wow.
And people that want to be a part will put in that energy to apply. That way I'm not scrambling for who's going to be on a show. I know that there's people out there that want to be here.
Yeah.
And the people that show up to the call, you know, they're looking at it like an opportunity as opposed to doing you a favor because you're starting a business. And I learned that.
You know how that is.
Yeah, I learned that early on, you know, when I first started podcasting about 6 years ago and doing a talk show. I wrote this list of everybody I wanted on my show. And some people was like, oh, I'll come and help you out. Oh, I'll come in. Not realizing that, friend, you're not really doing me no favor, because these technicians are not here because they just because they like me.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're not paying and I'm putting forth my hard-earned money to validate you or to clap for you,
correct,
to put you on a platform.
That's what I was thinking. Exactly.
I'm really blessing you straight up.
Absolutely.
So after the show started getting numbers and being on TV networks, then the same people that I reached out to was like, oh, I'm ready now. Oh, well, let me send you this invoice.
Hello. Cha-ching.
So next time I invite y'all to come on the show and you're not paying, you better pull up, because the opportunity might not come back around.
That, you know? And that part right there.
Yeah, I did get a lot of your little show. We big time now, baby. Mama, I made it.
And it's beautiful. The studio is amazing.
Thank
I walked
you.
in, I was just like, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so
proud.
much.
Yes,
Thank
sis,
you.
for real. You should be very proud.
So what do we have to look forward to from all things Shamona 101?
Yes. So definitely going to be like continuing with the Fashionate Fridays. Like I said, I did just network with a very amazing individual, and I'm super excited because the clothes that he designs are so dope. Like he is getting ready to set some fire to the industry. Like I just know. And then at the same time, I've been invited, of course, with him to do some fashion shows and some things. So we're super excited. Like I'm getting ready to like really get this ball rolling. And then of course I am looking for partners, other partners, people who have maybe smaller boutiques or businesses, or if you have your own brand, please reach out. I'm looking to network for sure.
have a few people for you.
Yes.
Shout out to Lost Vision and Tremont. Yes, because my son actually just launched a clothing brand, and it's dope. And I'm not just saying it because he's my son, because a lot of people wouldn't even know.
What?
But it is. I'll have to. Y'all make sure y'all check him out too. Lost Vision.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
definitely, if you're doing fashion shows
models
and stuff like that, because he did a cast and call, and I was so proud of him. Wow. He did it without my help.
Wow. And how old is he again?
21.
Oh,
yeah, he's
that's
21.
such a good age. Yeah,
and
he's just starting out.
His stuff is not like beginner. I mean, it's embroidered. It has texture. It has all that. It's yeah. He went big. He big. He my son.
Right.
Go big or go home. Don't do nothing small,
Period.
baby. We not doing nothing little around here. So
I love it.
I definitely encourage my kids
yes.
to chase their dreams, and I clap for them
to.
because nothing against my parents. I love my parents. Hey mama, hey daddy. I love them.
Yeah,
but
we have to.
When I was growing up, I didn't really have anyone feeding that part of me, saying, hey, you can do this. Hey, you should do this. It was more like, oh, you need to be focusing on these kids, and you need to, focus on a job. And I always had a job. I've been working since I was 14.
Yes.
But when I started doing poetry, it was like, oh, you need to be focusing on these kids. When I started writing books, it was like, oh, you need to focus on these kids. Now I have a publishing company. I published 15 other authors, So
that's a blessing and amazing. That's amazing.
So those things that I loved, I'm just glad I didn't quit.
Yes.
Because now my parents can see like, oh, my baby was on to something. I am the generational curse breaker.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Because, we grew up in an era where our parents looked at us like you wasn't successful unless you had a good job. Feel like I'm not successful unless I can create good jobs. So shout out to God for the provision.
I love that. We need to make that an Onney quote.
Yeah. Put it on a t-shirt.
Put it on it. We got it. Clock that.
Clock that.
I love it.
So, Shamona, tell us where we can find you. What's your Instagram?
Okay, yes. My Instagram is Shamona101_. And that is the basic name for all of my platforms. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. And then you can also find me on IG, of course. And my link tree as well. Will lead
and TikTok.
We
not going to leave out TikTok. That's right.
I love my TikTok.
And so you guys do not get discouraged, because now she has a new accountability partner, and we're going to get that YouTube page popping and dropping, baby, okay?
Stay on me on that.
I'm going to stay on you, girl. I'm going to stay on you. And so I also want to remind you guys that we are on multiple platforms, not just YouTube. You can find us on Third Coast TV, Sticker, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Spotify. I mean, anywhere where there is a streaming service, you can find us there. And if you really like the content that you're hearing, if you are listening to us on the platform, make sure you come on over to our YouTube page, Outside the Box with Onney. Make sure you click that subscribe button and click the bell notification so that you can be notified when we drop a new segment. We just finished Conversations with a King series, and now we are here now recording more segments for you because we had great responses, and I have a queen on the couch with me today. Now, if you yourself love the content and you want to get your voice heard, make sure you check out Onney Studios. Go to www.onneystudios.com for more information, and let us assist you in bringing your vision to fruition.
Love it.
Yes, indeed. So if there's anything that you can tell a young woman that is trying to find her footing in life, what would that be?
It would be to believe in yourself. Don't doubt. Love yourself, most importantly. And for me personally, my foundation in faith has always been in the true and the living God. So find him, know him, trust him.
And there you have it. You have it. Thank you so much, Shamona.
Thank you so much
for coming on Outside the Box.
I have had such a phenomenal time.
And just letting you introduce the world to who you are, because you have definitely made a positive impact just in the short time I've known you. And it doesn't stop here.
It doesn't.
We have more to go and more to grow, because it's collaboration where we from, girl.
Cheers.
And then on that.
Absolutely.
So I want you guys to make sure that you catch us the same time, same place next week. I'm your girl, Onney, the CEO. You're now plugged in, tuned in, and tapped in to Outside the Box.
Outside.